Mic check, 1 2 1 2, mic check, 1 2 1 2. What is good? What is good? What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Of course, you know who I be, Good Doc, Dr. Mike TV. Back again, once again. You should already know, ladies and gentlemen, this one is poised to be an instant classic in the making. If this is your first time to the Dr. Mike TV channel, by all means, make sure you subscribe and notify and do all the good stuff to make yourself well versed in the Good Docs content. All my good stuff shall be listed in the link in the description area below. All right, first things first, ladies and gentlemen, happy 4th of July. Happy Independence Day, whatever you want to call it. I'm greeting you first things first. But there's one thing about myself that I don't necessarily think is a good or a bad thing about myself. I don't watch the news very much at all. Like, I don't really engage with the news. I don't really engage with, these news channels and news outlets and stuff. Because that's just not for me, right? Every time I turn on the news, it's negative, nothing positive's happening and shit. So ultimately, a lot of my information comes via social media, whether I'm on a Google search, whether I'm just randomly doing stuff, whether I'm on YouTube. I might hear something on Facebook and then make sure the story is corroborated by looking at other shit. But ultimately, that's just not me. I don't do the news. But I was watching the news today, and Doc's not breaking news here or anything like that, but you guys know that the economy is definitely in a very peculiar position. Inflation at an all-time high, unemployment at an all-time high, and things like that. And as I sit back and really think about it, I mull over all the details and shit like that. I really think, man, is this American dream that a lot of people have come to the United States for, shit like that, us living in the United States, trying to, aspire to get to and stuff, is that pretty much long gone? Is that at the point where it's no longer attainable or reachable? And when I think like that, it comes from the fact that I saw videos of a guy who was trying to teach people how to live out of their van, right? You have a lot of conversations about how the middle class is being deleted, right? The middle class no longer exists. And this guy's he's got a YouTube channel. I can't remember what it was, but this guy was teaching people who are going through tough times or, looking to make a life readjustment, how you can live out of your van and shit like that. And I'm thinking to myself, is this really the life that I want to live for myself in the years to come? Granted, I do pretty good for myself. I like to think that I'm pretty decent with managing my own finances and shit like that. So it's nothing that I feel right now in the moment. Again, right now in the moment, I don't feel like it's affecting me. But dead ass, when I'm sitting here looking at people talking about how you can live out of your van now, the housing market, the bubble is just going out of control. Mortgage rates are going to start increasing and all of that shit, inflation, whatever. You hear it all, ladies and gentlemen. When you start to listen to this shit, it bums me out, okay? And it really does make me believe, or it makes me look at everything that's going on around me. And it seems as though the American dream is so unattainable right now for some, not all, but it seems as though it's so far out of reach that a lot of people are never going to be able to touch the type of money that they believe that they should, right? So for me, when I think about it long term, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know where your mind is, but I'm telling you exactly where my mind is. Is the American dream so far out of touch that it'll be unattainable? It's looking that way for a lot of people. And honestly, I believe the clear move is abroad. For me, I think overall the clear move is abroad. Now, let me make sure I make this abundantly clear, because I don't want nobody to think the doc is over here trying to shit on the United States, that I'm not happy about where I'm from, that I'm not patriotic, that, I don't come from a military family and all of that shit. And that's meaningful to me, right? I don't want y'all to think that shit. But what I want you to understand is my mind is triggered differently. I'm thinking, with the way that the rates are going, with the way that life is moving, the trend of the economy and things like that, I do believe that anybody who's in the right frame of mind knows that the clear move is abroad. The clearest move is abroad. Okay? I see that us foreigners can attain so much more outside of the United States. I mean, don't get me wrong. The United States, land of opportunity. Again, I got a good job. I'm not tripping. My finances are good. I'm not complaining about my money, how much money I make or anything like that. I'm just saying that for the majority of y'all, it's going to get to the point where they're really going to start pricing people out of the places that they stay. And if you haven't done good things with your money, if that little stimulus check that you got, you didn't save it, try to invest it or anything like that, ladies and gentlemen, gonna come back to bite you in the ass, is it? Right? It's gonna come back to bite you in the ass. And, as I get older, like I said, I think about my future and I think about retirement, right? I think about all of the things that I want to do in my life. I think about how many more years do I really want to work? And what's going to be the most significant move for somebody like me to make in my life, right? I think about the more significant moves that us as individuals are going to make in our lives as the years go along. And right now, it just seems that if we're so hell-bent on this American dream, it's going to be something that we're going to continuously try to get to and probably never attain. For the majority of people, I'm not talking about you, because a lot of my brethren, I know y'all make y'all money, y'all do good with your money. I know this. I know that I got a great audience behind me. We're not dealing with some bum ass people. I know that. But overall, when I think about it in hindsight, the move abroad is the best move that any of us can make. Basically, because I believe that it is the greatest financial move for a lot of us. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that you can't go abroad and go broke. You've seen it happen a million times. But what I can say is that if you do go abroad, your money does go a lot longer. You feel me? Make it in the East. Make it in the West, spend it in the East. That's always been a concept that myself and a lot of you guys have followed, a philosophy of sorts. It's almost become a mantra for a lot of us to where we're like, man, the move abroad, for any of us that have ever been, I should say, the move abroad seems to be the best move that we can make for ourselves. And it's all because of the trending moves being made in the environment that we're in right now. The current landscape that we are in at the moment is definitely one that I believe is going to be troublesome for some and a struggle for others. And again, I will say this, and I will be as forthcoming as humanly possible. The move abroad is not for everybody, okay? I know this. I understand this. Not everybody is going to want to move abroad. But if the move abroad is not the best move for you, I would say move to an affordable city, right? Because you got a lot of people who are trying to make it in the bigger cities, your New Yorks, your Calis and shit. Even Texas, I think, can be expensive in some areas. But ultimately, if you feel like you're being priced out of the area in which you're living in right now, guess what? If the move abroad is not for you and that's not the clear move for you, move to a city and or a state where it is more convenient for you, more compatible and more affordable for you. The American dream for some may be long gone. There are still a couple of us in this race, myself included, where we can see some positive outcomes if we push it just a little bit longer and push it for a couple of more years. But honestly, for those of us who have already got a concrete mindset on what we're looking to do when we actually get the money we're looking to attain, the majority of us are like, the U.S. at the moment is not a place for us long-term where we want to live at. We just want to go abroad. And I'm not just talking specifically about the Philippines. I mean, of course, Japan is on a couple of people's bucket list, Vietnam, Cambodia, another couple of Southeast Asian countries, Thailand and places like that. So it's not just the move to the Philippines or bust, more or less. It's more or less the move abroad, period. Living in a foreign country, a country where I feel as though it's reinventive, place where you can, become who you wish you could be, but you feel like you might be stifled to an extent because you're stuck in the United States and it's not exactly where you wish to actually be. That's pretty much what the mindset is of tonight's topic of conversation, ladies and gentlemen. I see we got 24 in the building, man. Y'all rocking in real hard. I appreciate that. All 24 of you guys, if you haven't already dropped your like, Doc would highly appreciate that one, man. Y'all know the rules, man. Make sure you caress, molest, and distress yourself all over that like button. And wants it, it needs, it most definitely has to have it. If you guys want to support the good Doc in any capacity, please feel free to do so. But like I said, happy and blessed y'all choose to come through, spend a little bit of time with the boy today. Nayon then. Interesting to get to these comments real quick. Definitely interested to hear what you guys got to say. I will not say that the American dream is completely unattainable, but what I can say with confidence is that it's becoming so much of a challenge for a lot of people to reach and attain those goals in the near future. You know, with all things that are happening. Again, if you have the money mindset and you are really good with the way you handle things, I can honestly see you guys finding a way to, you know, manipulate the system and make it work for yourself. All right. I'm gonna call you Kaiser. I believe that's what it is. He says, moving to the Philippines in the next 12 to 24 months in Iloilo City. I pray that Iloilo is everything that you wished it would be. Beautiful water, 100%. Chosen one, what's up with you, my boy? Beach Bum. Brother, I know you got a name. Give me a name. Appreciate you thinking that the good Doc's got guapo tendencies. Thank you very much. SML, what's up with you, my boy? Appreciate you coming through. JX, man, he says it's always good to stay up to date, but I get the sentiment. The American dream is still alive, just way too expensive. It's becoming a little bit harder for people to attain, right? Now, I don't want you to think that this topic of conversation is based on the fact that if the American dream is so far or too hard to attain, the best move is just to leave it behind and go abroad. I'm not telling you to stop your dreams or stop, going for it. But I do believe that once you hit it or once you get to that level where you feel satisfied in the way you're moving, or you've been able to carve out a nice little comfortable life for yourself abroad, and you can still somehow maintain the same amount of money you're making at the moment, and you can do that while you're living overseas, I think that's awesome. Right? Because everybody wants to be a billionaire, right? I mean, it's very rare that I come across people who don't at least strive to make decent amount of money or money in abundance in their life, right? There's a lot of people that want to be a millionaire, but they don't necessarily take the steps to get to, okay, how can I get to $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month, $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month? I mean, the necessary steps to get you to that $1 million mark. There are very few people who are willing to take the necessary steps to attain that million, as opposed to just saying, yo, I want to be a millionaire, but they're not putting any moves in place to actually get there, right? They're not investing. They're not, putting money forward to invest in themselves, educate themselves more, like get jobs that will clear 6 figures a month or something like, not a month, but 6 figures a year and things like that. I mean, it can become to the point where I feel it only becomes unattainable when you kind of give up and or believe that, because of where we are in the current state, that you're not going to be able to reach that anymore, right? Because you haven't put the necessary work in to actually get to where you want to be. Me, I'll put the work in order to get abroad. Some people just want to get abroad, but don't necessarily want to put in the work to actually get there. If you believe in that digital nomadic lifestyle, that is definitely a lifestyle choice that I see a lot of people choosing to go for. I think digital nomads are popping. I think they're really getting it in right now. That's where the money is. That's definitely where the money is. Because you're able to do it while you're, like I said, while you're on the move, I should say. Right? And a lot of people, maybe that's not necessarily the job for them, only because they don't really see how that benefits them in their, how can I say this, in their background or skills that they have already attained, right? You don't get that very often. Hold on one second.